Hi, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk about Power BI. Today we have the topic migration. I'm sorry for the for my slide. I didn't recognize the migration thing isn't there, but doesn't matter. So, yeah, who's there? Is somebody there? So say hello, and maybe you have questions about migrations. If not, don't panic. I have a one pager with some bullet points about migration and what I think maybe it could be important and what we should talk about. So let's see. I have a quick. Oh, hi, Chris, and welcome. So, yeah. Um, Oh, thank you. Hopefully you also like my live stream and not only my videos because the videos are without sound and today it's with sound. But doesn't matter. Let's go on with our um, migration topic today. So, what is the important thing? First, you have a plan, right? Hopefully, maybe. If not, you should have one. And in this plan, you should have, for example, goals and objectives, which is very interesting and also very important. And of course, we have the scope. So, what should all migrate it, right? And there's a bunch of things you have to think of. And for this, I have not only these bullet points. I have also some nice cards. For example, we need. Well, let me see. The data sets, for example, so the data source in Power BI are this is the data source in most of the time in data set if we not have a data mart or a data warehouse or lakehouse or whatever. And then we have the reports, of course. This is also very important to see what reports do we have. For example, if we think about migration from Tableau to Power BI, so we have to see what data sources are already there. Do we have API data sources? Do we have data sources from, um, for example, SAP or whatever? And then we have to think about, okay, what reports based on these sources, right? So, and do we need every report? So maybe we should write down all the reports we have, and then we can see, okay, this report is used a lot of times, so maybe we should take it with us to the Power BI. To the Power BI service. Hopefully, you don't have Power BI report server. If you have one, my condolences. So let's go on with Power BI service, and yeah, and uh, as I said, if you like to see what reports are used, you can use, for example, the usage metrics in Power BI. So you can simply turn it on, and then you can check which report is used and which not. And then we have the functionalities and the features. So identify the specific functionalities or features you have, for example, in Tableau. And maybe you can also have them in Power BI. Most of the time, the features are all there, which you need. So, for example, if you have bookmarks, you can create bookmarks, you can create goals and whatever. So, if you have specific questions about it, you can ask in the chat or you can ask me later. You can go to LinkedIn and write me a message. And yes, then with the next one will be the user access and permissions. Of course, we have a lot of things, well, a lot of places where you can manage these access and permissions, especially in Power BI. So if it comes first, you can, for example, put it on the data set, then you can put it on the report, and you can put it on top. I have also one card for Power BI apps, I guess, but not here. But you can also put it on the Power BI app, of course. Then we come to the data volume and size. This is also category in the it's also here located in Power BI service with the premium capacity. So if it comes to this, we have to think about the capacity. Is the pro license enough? So it's also licensing, right? especially in Power BI. So if a license is enough, or do you need a dedicated capacity like the premium capacity or the fabric capacity? And then we have to see integration with other systems. So yeah, determine if there are any integrations with other software systems or tools that need to be considered in the scope, and ensure these integrations are maintained or updated during the migration. Very simple. And custom code and scripts. Yeah, we can use Python and R in Power BI, and we can, of course, use code also, for example, in Tableau. So we have to check if there is some code we need to migrate. Very simple. And then let's go further. We have also data transformation and ETL processes. Also think about this if it comes to migration and reporting frequency. This is also very important. If you think about you want to migrate of, I don't know, 100 reports, and 30 of these reports need hourly refresh. So then you have to think about, we go back to our capacity, data volume and size, because you have to think about, do we have the right capacity for this? How big is the report? Is it an import or is it a direct query? And so on. So you have to consider many of things here. And then, of course, we have the dependencies and the relationships and data governance and compliance. So you have to see many things. And of course, one of the important things is you have to talk to the business. So if it comes to migration, it's not only a thing of changing a tool, right? So instead of Tableau, we now use Power BI. No, it's also a change of mind. And you have also to think about what is the goal to change especially for example, from Tableau to Power BI. Why do I should consider it? Is it because maybe Power BI is faster, or maybe Power BI is cheaper, or I don't know. So there are many things you have to think of, and you have also, and as I mentioned, you have to see that you have to take your people with you. So you have to take them by the hand and say, we will do this together and we will guide you through it, and not we have now this new tool and you have to take it. No, it's also a thing of user adoption, and that's why it's also very important that we have, for example, a roadmap for our people, so that they know, okay, we can expect in the next 6 months that we have our new reports. So a timeline, for example, also the roles and responsibilities has to be identified. So who has to do what? So if I'm a developer, do I have to develop now all the new reports? Do I have to migrate everything? So you have to also identify these roles. Then we have the data migration plan, which I told you before. And any tips? Oh, let me put it in this one. This is the first time. So any tips for change management on user adopting the changes of reporting platforms? That's a very, very good question. I guess there are various things you can think of. Management and user adoption. So what could be a good tip for change management on user adoption? Maybe you can build a community, especially for this one. So maybe a migration community where you can update everything you do and what is on the roadmap currently, and make everything transparent, so that everyone is aware of what is done. And then maybe you can also plan events, so you can make a little celebration out of the milestones, maybe. So for example, the first 10 reports are migrated, and yes, so maybe there are reports who can used by everyone, and maybe this is a reason for a party. So maybe a little event. Yeah, I guess this could help. So community is a very important thing here, right? So, and yeah, so communities can really help. So it is a thing, and it's real. So yeah, I agree totally, totally. And then what else do we have? Testing and quality assurance. Of course, you have to test your reports before you roll them out and deploy them, right? So make sure you have, for example, quality gates who can check the reports before they are deployed. User training and communication, as we mentioned before, very, very important thing. So we have to develop a strategy for training users and keeping them informed, like I said, right? And a rollback plan. So this is very important. You have you have to have a rollback plan. So if something going wrong, maybe you should consider to have one. And of course, the documentation. Nobody likes documentation, right? But you need one. So if you don't have one, yeah, so it could be a bit tricky to recap what you've done. So yeah. And yes, thanks, Chris. So many things in the chat from you. Thank you. And yeah, everyone forgets a rollback plan. This is a thing, right? And then everything crashed, and nobody knows where are the reports now. And but hopefully this won't happen with Power BI, right? So yeah. Okay, I guess these are all my points for today. So it's very short, you know it. It's only 11 to 10 to 15 minutes. And for the next time, we will have the Power BI service. And for this, we will also use these wonderful cards, my Power BI cards, my learning cards. I know the text is in German, but I like it. So it's like a fun game, so you can play with it. And we will learn a bit next time about the Power BI service and which awesome features we will have there, and unreveal the dark side of the Power BI service. So be excited. And yes, I guess that's all, folks. And thank you for watching, and we will see us next time. Bye bye.